Um, I've never seen a countdown. No, I've never seen a countdown. But anyway, welcome, guys. This is, I know you guys are not used to seeing, especially me hosting on a Friday basketball show, but this is indeed the NBA Finals. This is the big dogs time, and we promised to talk about each game. I want to do it after the match, but the match I finished too late, 11:30, 12 o'clock. People have wife, people have other engagements to do with. So just do it the following day. Obviously with me tonight, I have Cream and I have Devin. I haven't seen Devin in a minute. Cream, I sent the link the last time too late, too short of a notice. So everybody had their own obligations to do. But we are here tonight. Hopefully we'll be joined by Gio. It's Gary's Sabbath, so we know Gary's not showing up. Vinny, we know Vinny not going to show up either and probably pop up in the comment section and say too garbage. He's not going to show up. The original host Levon, all of a sudden him have something to do. So we know him not show up either. So we're just here to talk about some basketball. But Cream, let's just get right into it.
Right to it.
Boston won game one. 120 to 108. Golden State get a last minute three from them, from the little scrubs them for, take the little shame out of them eye. Because I really 13 points them scoring at the fourth quarter. But them the last minute three they look 16 much different from 13. 13 would have looked real bad. Yeah. But Cream, what I wanted to tell me about what you thought about the overall game and what were you most impressed with?
Um, it was a good game. Oh, Steph struggled in the first quarter. I was like, wow, because I picked Boston to win it in seven. So the start from Steph was really kind of scary because it's like he couldn't miss. But that was also partly because of how Boston was not defending him. On the switches, they were doing drop coverages and allowing him to shoot wide open shots, which I can't understand. They were even getting mixed up, saying you should go on the switch. No, I thought you were going. So it was just like a bit of confusion on the defensive end for Boston. So that start from Steph was really electric. But but even with that start, Boston still they didn't really separate themselves to a point where Boston started to think they couldn't come back in the game. They always chip away at the lead till they eventually came back and kept it close. So it was really encouraging to see Boston not crumble like many other teams. Whenever Golden State starts raining those threes on you, it really demoralized the team, and often teams just pack it in and be like, okay, it's not gonna be our night tonight. Not Boston. They kept on fighting, kept on plugging away at it. Marcus Smart, you heard him on the live, the wired commentary, talking to the team, said, hey guys, this is not the Miami series. We can't be dropping back. We have to push up on Steph. So it was really good to see. And it was really good to see the auxiliary guys, those other guys of Boston coming up big. Jayson Tatum didn't show up offensively, but he contributed otherwise. He still played defense and found those open guys to knock down wide open shots. So it was really good to see, man. A really good response first game from Boston, and it's really encouraging. There were some areas that they need to clean up. They're rebounding. They were out rebounded by Golden State. Golden State got 12 offensive rebound, which led to like 20 something points. So that's something that Boston needs to clean up on second chance points. Second chance points. Once they do that, they should be okay. But I still expect Golden State to rebound game two, and for it to eventually it will be a 7 game series. I still believe, and I'm still sticking with Boston to win in 7.
All right, Boston in 7. All right. I'm going to save the Golden State man for last, because I want to give him every single opportunity to talk about his team, no interruptions. So Devin,
Yeah.
you weren't here the last show. I was one who said, hey, I think Boston is going to win game one.
Mm.
For very different reasons. I thought that Golden State got way too much rest. I think that Boston also was more battle tested in their playoff run than Golden State. So should Boston go behind, I always felt like Boston always feel like they can come back because they have done that in previous series. Now, Devin, what I want to ask you, though, I want to ask you to repeat basically everything what Cream repeat, but I want to know that. So, Jayson Tatum, who is supposed to be the superstar for Boston, he went 3 for 17, 12 points, right? And Boston still managed to win by 12 points, right? So, I want to ask you, Devin, are you more impressed with Boston or more disappointed with Golden State? That's number one. And two, did you think Golden State threw away the game or Boston won the game?
I'm more impressed with Boston, and Golden State didn't throw away the game. Boston won that game, right? Because and they created a record in doing so. Let me get that. Let me just drop you under the stats. It's the first NBA Finals where a team was going into the fourth quarter was trailing by 12 points, not 12 points, by double digit, and they came back and win by double digit. So that can't be a man threw away the game. First in history that happened. First in history. Trailing by double digit into the fourth and then win the game by double digit.
Yes, sir.
So that's one point we can throw that out the window.
All
Right?
right.
Secondly, as it relates to Tatum and his performance, right? I expect Boston to come up and do much better in the next game. Like some people are saying, all right, and I see German them saying, all right, Dubs is his Dubs and it's the first game. Like that's a pattern that's been happening with Tatum in the series. You have some game where you said that can't be Tatum. He performed awfully, and then the next game it's not repeated. He come back and give you a superstar performance.
Yeah.
Next game he may give you an average. So, like people are saying Al Horford may not score that much for the next game. Yeah, fine, but I'm not expecting Tatum to perform that badly in the next game.
Yep.
And still on him, even though on that, but it can't be that bad though, Kems. We still have to knock him for it. You can't be that bad as a superstar in the team.
Yep.
Get what I'm saying? So, like, I was watching the show the last time when I wasn't on, and in that competition over on that page, I have Celtics winning the series 4-3, and I had them winning the game one. And one of the reasons why I have them for winning game one, which is separate from your reason about the old rest and that argument weird a lot. I just look at the pattern that was happening in the other game. In the series against Miami, they win. They win convincingly in their away games. They're not afraid to win at your house. Mm-hmm. So I just figure for these two games at home, they're gonna take a game, and the best game is to take is that first game. So I'm not totally like surprised by the result. And just finally on the overall aspect of the game, I like what I like more. One part, even though that question wasn't for me that you addressed the Cream, I like the pace of the game.
Yeah.
I like the pace of the game. It's not like a slow, boring finals. 3-pointers was raining, and then afterwards the defense. But even though when the game kind of slowed down, it was still an exciting game.
Okay. All right. So, Mr. Levon, we talk about Jayson Tatum for the Boston Celtics. Let us talk about Mr. Curry, right? So Mr. Curry had 21 points in the first quarter. You would believe that man would have finished with 81, 91, probably 100. The way this man can shoot that basketball. However, in the last 6 minutes of the game, Steph Curry had 0 points. Can't happen. I just want you to tell me, I know it's only one game, and I will create a big hoopla around one game because Golden State can come back and win 4-1, just like how Boston can go win 4-0, right? But what do you think went wrong for Golden State? And if you were the coach of Golden State, what adjustments would you make going forward?
All right, so I heard Devin mention one thing that he, at the beginning, that he has to throw the fourth quarter out of the equation. That Golden State throw the game out of him. And come on, Devin. Golden State at home, 16 points in a fourth quarter, brother. You can't tell me say that side in a choke. Yeah, Boston Celtics they won the game. Yeah, can't go around that because they did win the game. However, you can't do 100 and just score 16 points in the last quarter. And as Kim said backstage,
I got
it would have easily been 13 points had one of those squad player never come on and pour down that three. So you can't tell me that they don't throw that game. You can't be leading up until third quarter by 12 points and then you just come in a fourth quarter, come score 16. That don't make no sense, brother. But Kim, as it pertains to Curry now, know that over the years, man, you have been one of the most critical person of that fella, and I can't let him up right here. You see, me, I always say I want to live and die by my best player. This is where I want my big player to step up. You see that things are not going your way. Galvanize the truth, man. Call him and say, yo, this time go on good. This is the first game of the finals. We're at home, so home advantage counts a lot. You just say, hey, calm down, man. Let's just take our time and do what we know to do best. But guess what? That's not Steph Curry. Steph Curry just going into a little, I can say hot, shed. Probably like a little dog going into a corner. Man not help the team none at all in the fourth quarter. So I'm like, damn, bro, if you're the superstar, I want you to step up because obviously the role players aren't doing what they normally do in terms of we know that guy like Poole, Clay to an extent, they had an off night, right? So these are the guys that normally help out, but this time around they weren't. So this is where you as a superstar, yes, as you mentioned, first quarter 21 points. Come on, man, give me a second quarter 21 points as well. Had he done that, what are they here celebrate the game? We win. But the man decided that he was going to score all his points in a non-pressurized situation. And when the pressure took the team, the man gone into hiding. We can't ease up as a superstar for that, none at all.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I will say this. If Draymond Green is going to take 12 shots every game, I can tell you this will be a sweep immediately. This will be 4-zip immediately. Because out of those 12 shots, I know him missing at least 9 of them. So there's going to be a sweep immediately. So they have to fix that. All right. So Cream, let me get back to you because I've spoke about this too much. Klay Thompson, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, I know him just come from injury and all of that, and that is fine. But this is not the same Klay Thompson offensively, much less defensively, right? Defensively, slow, not agile, can't move his feet as much. And you're going up against these young boys. Him take up Jaylen Brown as his assignment. And Jaylen Brown just licking his chops
barbecue
all night. It was barbecue chicken all night, right? Until, I see like a switch where Andrew Wiggins start take some of him and so. And if you have Andrew Wiggins that take over from Klay Thompson, your team is in trouble. If you are the coach of Boston, and so I'm going to ask you a two-part question. You are the coach of Boston. You get the one game that you go there for because, you know them thing there. When you're the away team, you want to get one game on their home court and then go back home and you have the advantage.
Yeah.
You get game one. But your superstar was 3 for 17. So you know he can be better. And just to note, when Jayson Tatum have a bad game, trust me, the next game is always good. He scored 10 points against the Bucks. The next game, the man scored 30, then 46, then 30. So he's going to come back, playing good. What would be your message as the head coach of Boston right now for game 2? Is it go for the throat or, hey, a free money, just do what you have to do? That's one. And then number 2, as a Steve Kerr, because remember, since Steve Kerr took over the Warriors, this is the first playoff series where they have trailed. The first one. They have never ever trailed before. They don't know what it feels like to trail. What would be your message now as Steve Kerr to the Warriors? What adjustments would you make?
All right. For speaking as Ime, I wouldn't want us to rely on the fact that we will come here, we get one, and now we're going back home because we haven't been good at home. we have also been losing games at home. We've been playing better away than at home.
Yep.
So it will definitely be let us go and get this one, guys. Let us get this one and go and get 2-0 going home. Let's not rely and say, yeah, we have two back at home now. No, just like how we came and got 2 here, they can come here and get two. So let's not joke around with this team. This is an experienced team.
Yep.
So if we have an opportunity to go up two on them, let us make use of that and no joking around. Because I felt in the Miami series, I felt like Boston oftentimes came out in the second games because they knew they had a game back home. So the same urgency and intensity I felt there wasn't there in the Miami series.
Absolutely.
But this time around, that shouldn't be the case. This is the final. Like there's no more series after this. This is it. So go there and get the two. Now as Steve Kerr, I'd have to be imploring on my experienced guys, my guys that have been there and done it before. The Stephs, the Draymond, the Clay. I'd have to be leaning on them heavily to inspire the younger guys, them the Jordan Poole and the other guys that haven't been there before. You know, it need their experience and them to let them feel confident and knowing that this is nothing. We are the Warriors. We have the championship DNA. We know what it takes to win. Boston has 0 finals experience. So we're gonna go back to the drawing board, watch film, get better, see where we can improve, and we're gonna tie up this series here before we go to Boston.
All right. So and Jason bring up an important point because before the first game, since Steve Kerr took over the Warriors, he was 7-9 against Boston. Right? Well, since he took over the Warriors 7-9 against Boston, now he's 7-10. So he's right. And Boston is the only team that Steve Kerr has a losing record against. Right? So this is not chicken feed. Right? This is not chicken feed. And listen, Jordan Poole was bad last night.
Yep.
He was a 2 for 7, 9 points. Draymond Green 2 for 12. Clay 6 for 14, 15 points. So listen, no one played well. And again, Warriors can turn it up at any time. But
it's by design. It's by design, though, Kems. Boston defense wants the Loonies, wants the Draymond Greens of this world, even Wiggins to have the ball late in the shot clock. Let those guys shoot it. They will live with that.
Hey, Cream, I came here last year and I said, hey, Boston is going to do exactly what they did to the Knicks. Anybody but Curry. When it's money time, Draymond, shoot your shots. I said to them, if Boston loses series and Draymond Green is the MVP, Boston is okay with that. But they cannot allow Steph Curry to be the MVP because we all know what Steph Curry can do.
Correct.
Right. Devin, now this is just one game, right? So we're just reacting to one game. Game 2, we can come and we can have a total different analysis because we're going game by game. But with this game, Devin, you looking at both teams. What would you say? Who would you say is the most important player going into game 2? Where you say, hey, if this player is clicking for the Warriors, then this is definitely 1-1. Or if this player is clicking for Boston, it is definitely 2-0.
Art, on the Boston team, I'm definitely gonna go with Tatum, right? I need Tatum. For Boston. Okay. Need Tatum. Tatum can't be this bad and having them one game with scoring almost 40, 45 points, and the next game is only like in the teens and be like 2 from that awful field goal shooting. So for Boston, it's definitely Tatum. All right. For me, for Golden State, like talk about Clay coming back and Clay not being the same. I can see that. And my thing is, if Jordan Poole is clicking for them in the next game, it's gonna be a problem for Boston. And I would seriously consider maybe off. I would seriously looking at throwing Jordan Poole in there and let's Clay come off the bench. And maybe maybe the case where
all
right, look at it. Defensively, we know Poole don't do much. Poole have to do way better on defense.
Oh yes,
way better.
He has to do much better.
Much better on defense.
Put in the however. Clay not doing anything defensively.
You see that lockdown where we say Clay used to lock down people on the wing. You know, like a Paul George. You know, Paul George with him wing, he can lock down people. You know, because play, you know, they play better on the wing and they lock down. He's not that player like he used to be. I don't know if with the injury will take some more time. You get what I'm saying? And I see other people can compliment in there because Wiggins playing some good defense. Wiggins play some good defense on Luka. German Green is there, so you could get that scoring from Poole. Poole can't just take 7 shots. Poole cannot be just taking 7 shots.
Well,
you know what I'm saying? So it may be. I mean, you could pour cold water on, or you could throw my point about him starting. But to answer your question directly, it's Poole for me. It's Poole for me. Gotta get him. Poole can't be taking 7 shots.
All right, but look at this, Devin. So look at this, Devin.
And German Green taking 9 shots.
12 shots him take. 12. All right. So Devin, what I'll say, right? And my problem, I believe, I see Andre Iguodala play 12 minutes, especially in the fourth quarter. Critical minutes. I don't want Andre Iguodala. Andre Iguodala haven't played since the Denver series. You remember how long ago that was?
Yeah.
Why would you? It's like it's a slap in the face to Boston right now. That's how me look at it as, oh, Boston, you're not good. I can play a guy who haven't played in forever. Iggy not supposed to get more than 3 minutes span that. And not in the fourth quarter. Play him early when Golden State are lead and I go on with them antics so he can get him feel.
Bro, not even at that point in time he mustn't play. Look at the previous series, right? You know, Kuminga got a lot of points in those series, right? Why not go to somebody that has been playing? Iguodala hasn't played in, as I said, ages. So why are you going to throw him in?
But so I think it goes back to Cream point, right? Where Cream is saying, hey, Steve Kerr is relying on his guys who has won him championships.
Yeah.
Iguodala, the Steph, the Clay, the Draymond, that is his core. And obviously, Looney has been getting a lot of offensive rebounds, a lot of second chance points and so on and so forth. So that is what Golden State is quote unquote relying on, with their guys. But listen, I don't think Boston is the team. Probably you can get away with that with Dallas.
Yeah.
You can get away with that with Denver. You can get away with that with even probably even the Suns if you play the Suns. But you see when you're playing against...
But then again, Kims, it goes back to what I just said. He played against Dallas. He never used Iguodala.
No, he was hurt.
Why are you going to use him in the final?
Once Iguodala is healthy, all right. It reminds me of my draw analogy. It reminds me of Fred and the Ole. Once Fred healthy, Fred will play. You might go find some way to put him in on the side, he is going to play. That is Andre Iguodala.
Let me give you a better analogy.
Once someone healthy, Steve Kerr will find some way to give the man some minutes. Listen, the next thing I'm looking at, I'm on like Otto Porter. I'm not saying he's not an okay basketball player, but I think those people are getting way too much minutes.
So you think Kerr need to shrink a rotation?
Got to. And he'll find it out soon enough, because if you notice on the Boston side in a Cream, I don't know if you pronounce his name, but the first year head coach for them, that man dropped the catch. You're not seeing a Crawford coming at the game, but I no man who not playing a long time. Say, hey, come. No. The man that will put him guys out there, and any of them guys that play foolishness, he must say, come have a seat with me on the bench.
Yeah, because he left Pritchard and White in the start of the fourth quarter for like 9 minutes and get them out of the fourth quarter before he put back in Marcus Smart.
Yep.
Yeah, man. So long Marcus Smart was on the bench?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think, Steve Kerr, I don't know what the issue is with Steve Kerr, but Steve Kerr is not going to do that. Steve Kerr is not going to do that. So, I don't know. So, as we move forward now to game 2. So game 2 is Sunday, right? So we'll have a show. We'll have a show more than likely, Monday evening, right? Monday evening we'll have a show, depending on what's going on in the track and field world or in football world or whatever. But more than likely we'll have a show on Monday. So looking forward now to game 2, Levon. I want you to tell me who you have winning game 2 and what you think is going to be different for game 2.
All right, so it's twice that JSW have found themselves in this position, because we know that 2016 Western Conference Final against Oklahoma that they lost the first game, and was it Raptors in 2019? We know that they returned and win the Oklahoma series, but they lost the Raptors series in 6. So I think they'll probably learn from the mistake, and having the experience already being in finals and all of that, I think they'll learn from the mistake that they made in the previous game and learn how to close out the game. And again, Steve Kerr can't come back with the same madness. They can't put on bug them time, the brother. Leave the bug them for another time. Don't let them on the clock up that time. Man like Steph, Clay, and all those guys have to step up. I hear all of them come out and say we have been in this position before, so it's nothing new and all of that, so we'll rebound and all that. So they have to do that. I have them winning game 2, tie the series 1-1, and then they go to Boston. And as I said, initially I have this series finishing in 6. Seems I have to push it back and go to 7. But I'm still sticking by the Warriors either way, man. But one thing we need to do better, and I spoke about it, you see that turnover, brother. Even though Boston did have a good amount, but Warriors still had more. But Warriors had 14, Boston had 12. And we spoke about it backstage as well. The thing with Warriors, they need to learn to defend better. People are using whatever they're doing against the other side because they're winning. Let it seem as if, they're defending properly, but they're not. Because as you look at the series before, a lot of guys got open shots against them. It's just that those guys weren't shooting properly. They weren't taking their chances. So that's why Warriors had a easy run to an extent. Now this time around, they have to defend better as a team. And as you said, when you look at the previous series, Wiggins was doing a decent job on the big men. But now you look at this team now, Celtics. Celtics is not over-reliant on anybody right now, because as we mentioned, Tatum had a poor night. We don't expect Tatum is going to have a poor game come next time around either. He's going to step up. So we have to defend better as a team. If not, call it good night.
It's going to be trouble. It's going to be real serious trouble. So Cream, before I ask you about the series, right?
Yeah.
I want to talk about legacy a little bit, right? Because a lot of persons are talking about LeBron 4-6. He's 4-6 in the finals and all of that kind of stuff, right? But let us look at Steph Curry's resume where finals are concerned. 2015, no Kyrie, no Kevin Love versus Matty Dellavedova. If you don't win, that is a problem. You win that? Okay, wondering. 2016, you're up 3-1, you find a way to lose that series. And you were poor in both Game 6 and Game 7. All right, no problem. 2017, you run and recruit KD. Obviously, nobody can beat that team. 2018, you still have the same team. Obviously, nobody can beat that team. 2019, KD gets hurt, you lose the series, right? Now, we'll move forward 2022. You never have nobody, your team with injury, all of that. But now you move forward 2022, and you find yourself have to be the main man, not playing against an injury-riddled team, but you have to be the main man to get the job done. Should Steph Curry fail to win these finals, right? Should he fail to win these finals against Boston? What's Steph Curry's legacy? Is his legacy strictly pertaining to shooting? Okay, he's just the best shooter and probably the best teammate because he's willing to take a back seat. Or, should we start questioning his championship credentials?
Well, in regards to his legacy, it is what it is at the moment. The greatest shooter of all time, revolutionized the 3-point shooting. You have 2-time league MVP, the only unanimous league MVP. So I think his legacy is pretty much set. What he's pushing for now, or what people is saying he is striving for now, is to break in that top 10. So a lot of people feel with another championship and a finals MVP, that will vault him into the top 10 all time. I don't know. It's still.
But Cream, it can be said, it can be said that in those 3 finals wins that he had, Steph Curry really didn't do as much as he expected to do. The expectation is here, and he is right here.
I
So
mean, in those finals, he averaged like what 20 and 8.
I think
So
in 2015, I believe he averaged like 24, 25. I think he averaged pretty good in that. But he's going up against Matty Dellavedova, so I would expect you to at least average something around there.
so he normally puts up respectable numbers, but like you always point to, is that when the team needs him or key moments is when he doesn't show up over and over again. That's the constant knock against.
Yeah, you remember 2016, the last 6 minutes, nobody could make a shot in game 7. No, Steph Curry bricking.
And he was getting good looks. He was getting good looks. Same thing
Yeah.
against Toronto as well too. He got some good looks and just couldn't knock them down.
But when the Warriors is up 2-3, he's knocking them down. That is my question.
And we got the example again the last game. First quarter could not miss. Everything was going down. Fourth quarter, after him score the last 6 minutes, like nothing.
Yeah, nothing.
no point.
The team is looking at you as the leader. Hey, can you stop the bleeding? Stop the run.
Yeah.
Nothing. The only thing
Nothing.
is Curry do, I sit down on the bench and I stare in a space and I shake him head like.
So that's the constant knock, and he will forever have. If he doesn't win it, he will forever have that hanging over him. His legacy is like a chain around his neck. You know, that's always a knock against him, man.
Yep.
So
listen, when people talking about top 10 business, they're going. I mean, I'm not upon ESPN or FS1, but I'm promising you, these are the arguments you're going to bring forward. 2015 injured Cavs. KD, but when he was on his own, he couldn't get it done. That is exactly what they were going to say to take him out of the argument. He's a great.
Skip Bayless beat him every day, but the same points.
Oh, God, man. All right, so Kareem, now I want you to tell me, game 2.
Yes.
Who do you have winning, and what you think will make that team win?
All right. It's a heart and head this decision.
Yep.
The heart want Boston to win, but the head say Golden State I go rebound and take it. And it's kind of because of the tendencies of Boston. What I saw in previous series, they, as I said, they tend to say, all right, we are going back home now. We came here, we got the split what we want, and we go back home. So the same focus and intensity don't seem to be there. But I'm hoping they can prove me wrong and pull this one off and go up 0-2. But I realistically think Golden State is gonna rebound. I'm expecting Clay to be the guy. Expecting Clay to have a big game offensively and put up 25 or more points to go along with Steph. So that's my prediction for game 2.
Game 16 put up the number then.
All right, Devin. Let me.
Remember, he's
Mr.
Game 6.
Let me hear you, Devin. Who is going to? I want you to tell me who is going to win game 2 in your opinion.
All right.
Who's going to be the X factor?
So are you everyone was saying like he had them to win in 7. Golden State to win in 6, but you're gonna push it to 7. I had Boston to win in 7. I think I may push it up to 6. Right? Like when I look at this game coming up, right?
Yep.
Everything, like both teams were doing what they always do, except for Boston flipping the script. And what I mean by that, Steph Curry always come out and scores points early, and Golden State always get off to a good start, right? Third quarter, who always rule the third quarter when you come against Golden State? They are Mr. or Mrs. Third quarter, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. In previous years with Boston, what happened to Boston now? They failed to close our team. That 7 game against Miami, it wasn't supposed to be that close. It wasn't supposed to be that close.
True.
So and the experts, and even we watching too, because we are experts too, we were saying one of the flaws that they were saying is like them closing out team. Game 1, they do the reverse. They didn't just close them out. They just sink them. They just put them away.
Yeah.
So when I see that, oh wait,
Yeah.
and they always have the turnover problem. But like, I didn't expect them. I expect them to lose so bad in the fourth quarter because they're not good at. Well, they weren't leading, but they're not so good in the fourth quarter, and you didn't expect that from them in the fourth quarter. So what I see from Boston is like, so oh wait, when it comes to fourth quarter, they're not gonna. They can come back, and even though they didn't have the lead, but seeing them in the fourth quarter playing like that, if they get a lead, that showed me that okay, they're ready, and they're ready big time for this game. And for the next game, I'm looking for Tatum to come back, and I'm looking for Horford. Horford's not going to get all that points again. I don't think he's going to get that points. But what I want to see from Horford more in the next game, and he's going to be my X factor along with Tatum. I'm sorry, you asked me for one player. I want Horford to be getting some more rebounds. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. I see that game when he had a bad shooting game and they won. He was just doing some dirty work. So Horford don't have to give me 20 points or almost 30 points. You know? I want to see him getting some more rebounds, getting some points, but they were out rebounded.
Yeah, that's unacceptable.
Unacceptable. And they're the more physical team. They're the more physical team. So that's what I'm looking for the next game. And I have Celtics winning that next game.
All right.
Hope you're right.
So listen.
Money put on point early on.
Stick up in games. So Devin, actually I just gonna check it in. And Cream said that he's looking for 25 points thereabouts from playing the second game. Mm-hmm. Now I look at the second game that he played against Grizzlies. 12 points. Second game against Mavericks. 15 points. So you're onto something.
remember, you say he's Mr. Game 6.
No, but hold on, Levon. Were the second games were all following a loss?
No.
Nah,
one was a win, one was a loss.
Both games were wins.
Wins, yeah.
Both games were wins.
Yep,
yeah.
Exactly.
But game 6 in this game may be too late now, Levon. That's what I'm saying. It's Mr. But the game 6 may be too late.
Listen. When I look at this series, it's impossible for me to pick Golden State to win game 2. Impossible. Listen, I see Boston make so much mistakes along with Tatum. I don't even need Tatum to be great. I just need him to play basketball. If he plays basketball, it's going to be trouble for Golden State. You know, I think you get 20 points from Wiggins. I don't think you ever get more than that.
Yeah.
So let us say you take some of Wiggins points and you give to Clay.
Yeah.
All right. It's still the same. Curry scored 34. I don't expect Curry for 40 or 50. So, but I'm expecting Tatum to give me more than 12 points. I'm expecting Tatum to give me better from 3 for 17, right? So, obviously, there's a rebounding issue. But I'm looking at game 2 and I'm saying Boston can just go out there and play free. I think the first in the finals, there is that jitter, the human side of you. You're nervous. General Star, what am I to expect? This team wins so much championships. This is their 6 finals, yada, all of that. I'm looking at it right now, and, I tell Levon, say, I want to pick the sweep, because, listen, this just remind me of the net series, boss. This reminds me of the net series where...
Kems, they're not looking at it from another aspect, It won't be a sweep. And tell you why. NBA will stop that, brother. It's not gonna happen. NBA will allow a sweep to happen in the finals.
LeBron got swept by Golden.
Yeah, that was
by Golden State.
Hold on. That
was it Golden State or Spurs?
No, the Spurs sweep him way up so. But when JR never win game 1, when JR did do the foolishness and he got overtime and then Warriors did win, wasn't that a sweep?
No, man, I think.
Yeah, man, it was a sweep, man. The first year with KD was 4-1.
4-1, yeah.
The year after that was a 4-zip.
Sweep in the finals? You sure?
I believe so.
No, man. You can check it out.
Check it for me. I believe it was a sweep. I don't see the Cavaliers never win no more game after that. That was the game that Cavs was supposed to win. And JR get the rebound. And him and God alone and JR for go back up. JR dribble out like he play 21 to back 7. I'm going to clear the key. I was like, JR, come on. I promise it was probably 4-0. Well, listen, I'm looking at it and I'm saying,
2018 finals, Mr. Something says 2017 to 2018, 2018 finals, NBA champion Golden State swept the defending Eastern champions Cleveland Cavaliers.
yeah.
Okay.
And listen,
Wow.
if the NBA don't want somebody get
Listen to the Kems, you're not getting me a saying. 2018 was what? 4 years ago, brother. We're now in
Hey,
2018.
Kems,
Guys now from.
remember, it was Steph is the NBA's darling as well, you know, on a brand.
Yeah, true, but I think Bran have more leverage than Steph. When Bran wants something to happen, it happen.
A sweep won't happen though.
Yeah, that's what you don't want.
That is what
listen,
will happen. That's what I'm telling you.
I will say this.
Yeah.
If Celtics win game 2 and I'm picking them to win game 2, it's a sweep. There's no more game in this series. It will be a sweep. Because listen, Warriors.
You know, me never think about that bet, the boy.
Because Warriors is not winning. Warriors is not winning 2 games in a Boston. Not. And listen, I don't think they're going to win game 3 either. So I am picking. Listen to me keenly.
So game 2 is very important.
Game 2 is a must win. Must win for Warriors. And listen, I can't believe I'm saying this about. I can't believe I'm saying this about the mighty Golden State Warriors, Mr. Steph Curry, Mr. Best Shooter of all time, Mr. the best shooter in the world. Listen what I am saying. If Celtics wins game 2, if the Boston Celtics wins game 2, which I am picking them to win game 2, if they indeed win game 2, this series is over and it will be a 4-0 sweep for the Boston Celtics. The same thing that Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving got, the same thing that Steph Curry and company going to get. And you can't tell me that the Golden State is better offensively than the Brooklyn Nets. I will never believe that. And my X factor, believe it or not, my X factor for game 2, I have 2 X factors just like Devin. I have Marcus Smart and I have Robert Williams. Those are my 2 X factors for the game. Because listen, I know Tatum going to come to the party. I know what Jalen Brown going to give me. But depending on what, I want Marcus Smart to make some nice 3-pointers and to actually defend like him have sense and don't run under the screen.
Exactly.
Right? And Robert Williams, I want him to be more aggressive. Looney not supposed to get them rebounds over you and all them little things there. So those 2, no second chance points for Warriors. So listen, if Warriors win game 2, then I'll go back to my prediction and say Boston in 6. But if game 2, Boston wins, it is a sweep for Mr. Curry.
Levan, pressure.
Hey, I hear Steve Naismith.
No pressure at all, fam.
Steve Naismith come on TV. Listen, this is how these people love LeBron. Steve Naismith. Oh, I believe Steph Curry is going to win more rings than LeBron. Why do you love LeBron name so? LeBron is nowhere in the playoffs. What LeBron is in comparison now?
Everything.
That sounds like one of your moments, because same so with the football show, you bring up Ole and Ole is nowhere to be found. So what are your moments?
I'm bringing Ole in a good light. You know, when I'm comparing the bug coaches at United, but I'm not even going to go there. Right? What I'm saying is that why is he being compared? Oh, he's going to win more rings than LeBron. And then him have a little thing when he comes and say, oh, but I love LeBron. And I love LeBron. After him this you know, I love LeBron. Oh,
so that's
I heard
people love do that.
Another top.
People do that. If you do that, you know, like when I say, oh, like you talk to somebody, oh, me not cut you, but me have this. You cut me. I want to come say something there, oh, but I love LeBron. No, brother.
There was a discussion as well, like, if Steph are going to surpass LeBron in the GOAT conversation. I'm like, what the hell the people here talk about?
Listen,
that's like Kim's come and try to beat him at night time, because Kim's listen to them money, I try to come do the comparison.
Listen, you see, these people do things for entertainment and to get the views and to get people. Yeah. So they'll say anything they want to.
Yeah.
Right? I will say it up to a level, but we're not going to say nothing crazy like that. Steph have to pass a whole lot of people. Steph have to pass KD, because he not pass KD yet.
Yeah,
Steph have
no.
to pass them Monday before he can ever reach up to Michael Jordan. So basically, you're telling me, if the man says Steph surpass LeBron, so you're going to tell me we're going to start comparing Michael Jordan and Steph Curry. That's going to be the standard right now. All right. So I think that is it. Devin have Boston winning game 2.
Yeah.
I have Boston winning game 2. Obviously, Levon have Warriors winning game 2.
Golden State.
And Cream of Golden State. So we will definitely be back here on Monday. But before that, I know there's some other sports going on. I'll give you guys a minute if you guys want to talk about the Nations League, cricket, track and field, whatever that's going on. Go ahead, Devin. Tell me something that's going on in the sporting world.
All right, brother, I'm gonna talk about one sport where it's not even because hockey, ice hockey. I'm gonna talk about, brother.
Oh my goodness,
brother. New York. I was saying the New York. They're so longing for a trophy. It's like everybody, even people who don't care zero about ice hockey now, talking about ice. In the regular news and the sports thing, they're just rooting for Rangers. Rangers beat your team from the Tampa Bay line. And well, people may call it an upset in game 1 because, Tampa Bay has been like about the last five out of 6 finals. Tampa Bay has been there. Tampa Bay
Stanley Cup, right?
Stanley Cup. I don't even know about it, but it's like it's just in the news. So and then they win game 1, and it's all about them going for game 2 now. So it's like it just to me like since I come here in 2015, it's like every major sporting team they say, okay, the New Yorkers are like this year gonna be their year. Basketball this year, Giants this year gonna be their year. And I can't see that year materializing. So. Like they just jump on this Stanley Cup with Rangers, and they're in the Eastern Conference final. They haven't been there in a while, so they're leading 1-0. So they're hoping that
is a best of how much in this hockey series?
I think I see a best of 7 too. I think I see a best of 7. I don't even know about, but it's just that it's just so all over. One of my wife, former coworker, she's a season ticket holder. She sent 2 tickets for me and my wife. I say, yo. Not even so she has sent it for free, man. I got it because no, that's not my thing. I can't go watch it. I'll win the ticket free. I'm not going to watch it. You can't go and bring it.
So Devin, I'm asking you a question. You sit down and go watch baseball, so why you can't sit down and watch hockey game?
No man, boy, no.
I think so. Let me tell you why I think that Devin did it. I think baseball have like household names.
Yes.
Hockey have none.
Never
I don't know.
Hockey, brother. I don't know
the
nobody.
only person I know in hockey are the man. One name Gretzky, brother, and the man they did from about 19 how long.
Wayne Gretzky.
You ask me about Judge. You ask me about Cole and them, man. I can tell you about them. Like, you're right, Kim.
Yeah, I just normally when they can relate to somebody.
And there's more people looking like me when we going to the Bronx and go watch them game. We see more people look like me. Right, my wife says she go and I think that when she feel lost, so she feel hold on our Caucasian coworker, like
All right.
Well, that's my little 2 cents. That's still half from one of the major thing, but that's my little 2 cents.
All right, Cream.
Yeah. What recently that I liked was the return of Shakir Richardson.
Big runner.
Chaka feel need her back, we need that rivalry, that villain person in Chaka's field, man.
Yeah, when the track's boring, boss. What to talk about?
Exactly, man. So it was good to see her running good. So hopefully she can even improve some more, and then we have a real showdown come the World Championships. Yes, sir.
Absolutely. Listen, I'm telling you about Shakari, man. A lot of persons don't like her, even on this stream. A lot of persons don't really fond of her. Listen, I just believe it's a woman that's definitely troubled, and everybody in life go through their mental struggles, and we deal with it all differently. This is probably her way of deal with it. So I've just learned to just embrace her. I believe she's good for the sport. Just like how Bolt was great for the sport, but in just different ways. Obviously, I don't think she will win, but just her personality, it gets more eyes on the sport. It get more people want to support the sport. When she was out, nobody now watch nothing, boss.
Yep.
So,
Exactly.
we kind of need her another thing for true, man.
Yeah, man. Just spice it up.
All right, Levon, go ahead, boss.
So Devin team win 2 games against a Bug side. Talking about his West Indies team, the beat up Bug Netherlands. Nothing much to talk about there. But Nations League, just as I mentioned, Netherlands. I said Netherlands whop up Belgium since then, man, and the Dutch look really good, man. Denmark as well got the better of France, and once again, France have a placeholder in the team in Antoine Griezmann. I don't know why that man keep on starting. If you go to the World Cup with him, France is going to get their butt kicked just like the rest of World Cup champions before. But in regards to Belgium now, you can't go a World Cup with a backline of Jan Vertonghen, Toby Alderweireld, and Diedrich Boyata. I expect to win. No, brother. Same thing up with Italy. Italy go back in a World Cup qualifiers with the same old backline, get them ass kicks. At the same thing.
Bonucci and Kylian, them all man there.
Yeah, man,
watch them. So did they play against Argentina the other day?
Both of them, but it was killing in the final game still.
Huh?
It was killing the final game for them.
Yeah. Oh, so
he's going to the MLS now as well.
Oh, he's going to. Yeah, we can't go play in the MLS. We can't go play in the MLS. In the league, MLS league, Waterdam. So did Kevin De Bruyne play for Belgium and team?
All of the big players, them except Courtois.
Yeah.
Every one of them, and one of the control of midfield, brother. A man that Man United is chasing very
What
hard.
What was the score?
4-1.
Damn.
And it was a cancellation way down at the back end of the game.
Lukaku?
So, who is that midfielder at United chasing?
Frankie De Jong from Barca.
Or in Bassett?
Literally boss it, brother. KDB and none of them couldn't get near him.
Quality, man. Quality.
But yeah, lots of football going on, man. Lots of Nation League, and I think next week it will be your side against my side. We're going to test each other and see where we are at. But my side play against Italy come tomorrow. Well, not tomorrow, but I think it's Sunday. So I really want to see who stuck up against.
England play against Hungary
Tomorrow.
Yeah, I should give them an easy big deal.
Maguire upon them.
Yeah,
England, brother. Big.
That man big for England. Big skip. All right, gentlemen.
Big up, man. And to the people in the comment section, whenever you hear them, man, big up on yourself, same way.
Yes, man. I level under the healings, I can't remember what the healings thing, but definitely thank you. Thank you for everyone that tuned in. Obviously, Levon, know you're hurting right now, but I'm glad you show up. As Vinny not even show up in the comment section.
Man, yo, seriously, somebody call him and check for him.
Hey, we have a group chat with Vinny and we'll ask him, say, what go on? He must say, today wasn't a good day. So I don't know if it's the basketball or something else.
Oh, okay.
But definitely, thank you guys. We will be back on Monday after Boston goes up 2-0. Hopefully we can see Levon on Monday. Boston go up 2-0.
Why you give me a bet tonight? I never think about it by the sweep,
Yeah, I mean, man. You know what you sweep with yourself right now?
Remember say I broke up couple broom well already in the Devin, so
yeah, man, boy, the broom would have worked broken up again, man. What?
All right, gentlemen. Have a good night. Have a good weekend. We'll talk Monday.
Yeah, man. Bye.